And welcome to the Jeep Life podcast, the live edition.
This is live.
We are live.
We are alive.
We're live and we're live. Woo! All right, who's going to be first? Who's going to pop up here? I mean, I don't know. You would think as long as we've been doing this, that we could get the technology right.
Nope.
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 Never.
I literally just spent the last 12, 13 minutes panicking over one lousy camera. That one. That guy right there.
Somehow this always happens. It's one camera doesn't work. Something doesn't. Did you hit record yet?
I did hit record.
All right, that's good.
I'm at least there.
Yeah, welcome back is right. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
We've been busy. You've been camping. I've been
Yeah.
traveling.
We've been doing it.
Holidays.
Yeah.
Much,
Yeah, I want to get...
much more.
I think I still have a show in the can somewhere. This
Hey, Justin.
hidden show that... Yeah. So maybe next time we take a little hiatus, unscheduled hiatus, we'll
Maybe we just got to release it.
yeah, we just got to release it. Let a few more people join on, then we'll kick it off.
Hey, everybody. We are live on YouTube as well, and you
Yeah.
can go watch there as well.
Do it.
You
YouTubes.
can.
Damn, that's the sweetest drink ever.
It is delicious in
So
every
delicious,
way.
So delicious. Make sure I put my label the right way.
That is a treat soda. It's a treat.
It is a treat. So, Mark, are you watching us in stereo? One YouTube, one on the Facebooks.
Who, me? Yeah,
No, Mark.
I always do.
It looks like cameras are a little off here, so let me see if I can adjust. Oh, look at there. Man, when the technology works, it works. I'm excited about tonight. We're going to do a little cooling system discussion.
But we're going to talk about your
Yes.
issues
Yes.
and some things that you might want to look at when you're talking about cooling
Yeah.
systems.
Yeah.
Cooling.
Cooling.
It's kind of been a little warm lately. I wish I had a cooling system for my garage.
Dude, you know how easy it would be to put one in there?
You know how inefficient it would be?
Truly, especially when you have one garage
Giant-
door open and
Yeah.
that thing's not the most insulated. What's up, Jake? Oh, YouTube was lagging.
It is. It usually does.
YouTube's a lagger.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say nice things because they're...
Paying us eventually.
But no, I think we're up to, 12 cents, 13 cents on the YouTubes?
85.
85. Jesus. All right. Oh. 85 cents.
85 cents.
That's nice. What's up, Maddie?
Eventually we'll be able to buy a candy bar.
Back in the old days, a nickel would give me a candy
But
bar.
the problem is you got to save up to withdraw the money.
I know. You can't just...
So,
no.
you got to buy 100 candy bars. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel now.
You can.
You can be a subscriber for a monthly fee There are different levels, and also if you're a subscriber to our YouTube channel, you are also going to get invited to our fan rides that we're going to have coming up in the fall.
Ew.
Yep, at AOAA.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. It's going to happen. Especially now that I have a Jeep that works.
Yeah.
What's up, Brian? All right. Dave, you're not late at all. You didn't miss anything. We were slow getting started.
We have not started much.
No, as usual, technical difficulties put us behind, but we're actually because we are a little bit behind. I know everybody get out there and share it.
Yep.
But I'm going to go ahead and hit the button.
Dave's going to be really happy though because we're talking about one of his favorite subjects.
Yes, we are. Well, before I do, let's talk about some of our partners.
Absolutely. So let's start this off with Cold Case.
Yeah, let's do that.
And Cold Case Radiators supports the podcast in many different ways. By keeping our Jeeps cool as possible.
Yes.
Out on the trail and out on the highway. So if you're looking for that discount code, it is Jeep. Hold on.
Jeep Life.
Jeep Life. That's what it is. I didn't have it up in front of me, of course.
Yeah.
But also that code translates over into pipes exhaust as well. And, for that great throaty sound in your Jeep, or if you're looking for something a little bit tamer, their new, I think it's Street Edition.
Yeah, I don't know the name. I should.
We should know the name.
We should know the name of it.
But I absolutely love the trail clearance.
The high clearance.
Yep. That they give you.
And that is Jeep Life as well. Over at Pipe Sexhaust. I mean, it's what it's written down at. PipeSexhaust.com.
Exhaust. Pipes exhaust.
Oh, Pipes Exhaust.
You really wanted to call that one out, didn't you? You've been waiting.
I've had it in my pocket for a while, and I've just wanted to get that out there. That's the way I read it every time. You're wearing your T-shirt or Lexi's wearing her T-shirt.
Oh, jeez, Terry.
And now you won't be able to see it any other way than Pipes Sexhaust.
Dave, I think you might need to put a hyphen or an underscore in your the title in your. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's definitely going in. Make a note.
Hey, and if you're looking to get a little blown up, head over to the Power Tanks.
Oh yeah, get it blown up.
Get it blown up. Extra inflation, extra quick.
Yeah.
And also, if you need to fill your shocks or do your trim work and you don't want to carry around that giant compressor, a 10-pound Power Tank does wonders for a nail gun.
Ooh. Gonna get nailed, are you?
Yep.
Nice.
So, and they have a discount code of Jeep Life Pod 15 for 15% off a complete system at checkout.
Jeep Life Pod 15 over at the Power Tanks.
Pod. Yep.
15. I love it. Oh, the Rock Slide Engineering discount.
You did some.
Oh, I did some. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yep.
Jeep Life Pod for 15% on their amazing projects. Step sliders, the tailgate tables, bumpers, you name it. Go get it. RockSlideEngineering.com and get that 15% discount off of there. Off-camber lighting gives a 20% discount over at their website at Jeep Life Pod. And our good friend Huddy, his beard balm.
I'm working on it again, so I'm gonna be using the beard balm again.
Yeah. I haven't used it in a couple days. I've been down and out. I haven't shaved. I haven't done any kind of face maintenance. No grooming whatsoever. But when you do decide to groom, go to Jeep Life Pod or go to Huddy'sBeardBalm.com and put in Jeep Life Pod as 10% off of that order. All right, on with the show. Well, hey, everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast, proudly presented by Armalite, the toughest flooring on the trail. And if you need Armalite in your system, go there. Go to goarmalite.com.
Mm-hmm.
Put in Jeep Life Podcast 10 for 10% off of a complete system. And just tell them Jeep and Terry and Breaky Billy sent you.
Yep.
That won't get you anything extra.
Nope.
But matter of fact, it might get some drawings on the inside of a box that they send to you or something. But no, go over that. And, man,
It'll definitely get you a sticker inside the box.
100%. 100. Not one of ours, one of theirs.
One of theirs. Wait, can we get one of ours in their boxes?
Oh. I will.
Light
I-
bulb,
light bulb.
just ding.
Yeah, that's what we'll do for those orders. I'm going to reach out to them and see if we can do that.
Heck, those orders, every order.
Oh, we can do that too. Huh. All right. You heard it here first. We're going to
Let's
make it
do
happen.
it.
We're going to try to make that happen.
Let's do it.
Oh my God, where are we? Oh, Break It Billy.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here,
Yep.
and I'm your guy,
I'm
Jeep and Terry.
surprised I'm here. I've been like in the garage hiatus getting shit together.
You haven't. I want to hear about all this because we've both been over the
Oh
last
my
2 weeks.
gosh.
We've done a lot of stuff. To our
I've
rigs.
just done a lot of Jeep fixing,
yeah.
putting together, finalizing, tweaking.
Yeah. Big Red.
Yep.
Big
It's
Red
coming
got him
together.
a huge makeover.
Yes.
Huge makeover.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, it is all coming together, man. I just drooled over it out in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you didn't put any of the axles upside down like you did with your fog lights?
No, everything's right side up. I did find a nick in the copper line of the ARB front air blocker.
Oh,
Yeah.
the whole front end's got some things going on.
No, it's good.
Is it good?
It's good now.
All right.
It just has this auto leveling fluid.
Auto leveling, which means you overfilled it.
So they say that the sight hole isn't the correct fill line, so you just kind of have to put some in, and then eventually it'll just stop coming out.
Because it'll come out
It comes out the vent tube because I
Yeah.
guess it's too high for the vent tube, and then it heats up and it pushes the fluid out the top, and
Yep.
air expands, so it's got to breathe. And so I mark a little territory, and then, yeah, it'll be fine
It'll be fine.
until I have to take it apart again to fix the airline.
Yeah. So
It locks. It just spews air.
Yeah, and you don't want it to stay locked.
Well, no, it unlocks too. It
Oh,
just,
does it? Okay.
Yeah. So
As long as it goes both ways, you're good.
it locks and unlocks. It just spews air, which isn't good.
Right.
Because then it puts bubbles into the diff fluid, and I don't want that.
All right. So my Jeep is all up and
Correct.
running,
Yes.
and we're gonna start there because last week I went camping
Yep.
out the back of the Jeep, at Tobyhanna State Park
Mm-hmm.
up in the Pocono area, Mount Pocono area. It is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Took the kid and we went up there and camped out. She was amazing. She did everything. You expect a 16-year-old when you go camping and that much time, they're not going to cooperate a lot. They might be on their phone a lot. They
Mhm.
might be, oh man, that's not cool. I don't want to
Well,
do that.
You couldn't be on your phone a lot,
No, we did not have cell service.
which is awesome.
It truly, it's really nice to unplug and just let that go, and it was so good.
Uh-huh.
And then on Saturday, I met you up
Yeah.
at AOA.
Marie and I went
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, so we knew that it was going to be, a light day for us, that it wasn't going to be heavy
Light.
hitting.
light.
Right. And we met the Mainers in the parking lot.
Well-
our friends from Maine
Yeah.
came down, and so we met them up, and I knew that they were helping out our friend Neil.
Mhm.
So Dan was doing that, and so we decided just to go hit a few trails close by.
Yep.
So that we swing back by the
Yeah.
trailhead and pick him up. So we did that and had just a blast driving, and then we came back, swapped out everything. They kind of said, "All right, we'll follow you for a little while, and then we'll drop off." Because
Mhm.
you and I, my whole plan was to teach Lexi how to wheel,
Yeah, or drive off-road.
drive off road, not
Put it that
necessarily wheel, but it was getting her
Some experience.
some experience because she's never done it before.
Yep, got her permit, and that's completely legal, and we're following all
Yes,
legal.
yes. So
And by everyone else out there, like, we're doing green trails. It's
yeah,
reasonable.
Yeah.
For her.
for her, and she's been out wheeling with us
plenty of
for
times.
years, right? And even riding shotgun with you quite a bit. and
Mhm.
So she knows the idea, the gist,
Put it
But
between
it's-
the two trees.
right? That's and
Don't
and
hit the
over
trees.
the rock and not right, exactly. And it was good because we started out on bootlegger, and it
Yeah.
was it's a fire road type,
It's a great fire road.
Yeah.
Easy trail.
and she was killing it.
Yep.
Killing it.
Mhm.
And she's like, I want to try something a little harder. So when the fork in the road had a steeper climb, I
She
was like,
loved it.
Let's go.
We'll climb up the,
Yeah.
And it was just a switchback, which a switchback in general is,
Yeah.
it's a difficult, for a novice driver.
Yep.
But yeah, she handled it great. And I
I-
had Marie driving at this point too.
Right. And to get her some experience
Yeah.
as well. Because it's great to go up and wheel, but it's sitting passenger isn't always the most exciting thing to
Nope.
do. And both of them have sit passenger plenty.
Yes.
Right. So it was a good chance to get them both behind the wheel. And then we decided after a while that it's time to try a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So we took her for some fun on Fern Ridge.
Yeah. And
Got it.
Fern Ridge is, I would say, your easy, like, there's plenty of easy blue through that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a blue trail.
It's a blue trail, but
It's a medium difficulty.
Mhm.
It's not a 8 of a medium difficulty. It's more like a 5 of a medium difficulty.
yeah,
right?
it's got some tight turns,
Yep.
and then, just you got to know your surroundings.
And she did great through that.
Yep. And Marie drove that entire time too.
Right. So it was good experience for both of them, and for me it was kind of interesting to see it through her eyes,
Mhm.
and kind of talk to her and coach her through that.
Yeah.
With
You walked beside the Jeep for a little while
Yep.
too,
yep,
which is good.
and she got used to that, hearing directions and everything.
Yep.
So it was good. I can't wait to get her Jeep built up so that we can go do this together.
Yep.
She can follow me, and then I can get ahead and come back and
Coach her through it.
Yep.
And then I got to stretch the legs.
Yeah.
Stretch the legs on Big Ol' Red. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a nice black trail. So it's one of the offshoots up on Fern Ridge. And I still have my sway bars connected, both front and rear.
Yeah.
So, like, it got, it had some flex to it to what a stock flex sway bar would do.
Yep.
But, yeah, it got a little tippy. Not tippy, but, like, teetery.
Yep.
Between the two tires, and just kind of let it ease through stuff and let the Jeep do its job.
Yep.
4 low, let it kind of just go. And it did phenomenal.
Did
Ti-
really
and I
well.
know that trail really well, so I knew tire placement. I knew where to put the Jeep, and it's on 37s. So like I'm used to going through that on 40s,
Yeah.
which is a huge different game.
Right.
But I'm excited to get back out in Big Red again and really stretch the legs a little bit more.
So with that, I wanted to ask you, I think we talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, you didn't disconnect on it. Is that a thing you're going to stay with, or is that something you're going to do in the future? Get some quick disconnects, or
So the sway bar length is the link length is very long.
okay?
So it's a 12-inch link
Oh yeah.
or something
So
like
you
that. And nobody makes a disconnect that long.
right?
So I would have to make something myself.
Yeah.
And also it's easy enough just to go unbolt the 4 3/4
right.
inch and done.
Yeah.
And just take off the front. I'll probably take it off next time I'm out and
Yep.
just see what it'll do even more. It'll get a lot of flex in the front. I mean, the reason why I kept it on is because, so on the road it needs it because, it'll like if you hit
It'll
bumps.
be-
this,
it'll
that,
be
you know,
wavy, yeah.
it gets real wavy.
Like a boat.
So I just wanted it on for just kind of cruising around, and it was nice.
Cool.
It worked well.
Yeah, dude. It was great because I followed you through that trail,
Mhm.
and watching. It was interesting because I know that you and I've done that trail before in Big Red, before Big Red was what it is now.
Did we? Yeah, we did.
We
did.
But it was a long time ago.
Yep.
So it was a different experience watching what you were capable of doing, especially after doing it so many times
Oh
in,
my gosh.
in the buggy, right?
Yeah. I mean, truly, seat time is everything.
Yeah, and you and I had a good laugh a little bit later. That when we first started going out together so frequently, you weren't comfortable in off camber situations. And nobody is. Let's put that out there. Nobody is.
When you start seeing and feeling weird things and it unloading weirdly.
Yeah. But when especially when we took puddles out, that was so top heavy anyway.
Yeah, and that thing was actually pretty stable.
It was
for what it was.
It was super stable. But
yeah.
I know that there have been times where I've walked over and pushed the rear end down so that to keep it from doing weird things. But the more you do it, the better and more comfortable you get with that off camber feeling. And so it was great to see you just kind of walk through it without.
I know what that JK will do now.
Yeah.
Like I know that I can put it pretty sideways and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it was great to watch in action because I've done that trail multiple times and I got hung up at the same place I walked up a tree, weirdly enough. But it was it was good to be out there and have a good time and just kind of stretch our legs a little bit because you and I we were passenger seat.
Oh yeah.
Even after that we were in the passenger. It was good to be out there.
It was, and then nice to see the sights, go around, and just cruise green trails like the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Saw the top of the Mammoth and saw Glacier Rocks and got some photos. Had lunch.
Yeah,
it was nice.
It was nice. Our big thanks to Dave at AOAA. He always just takes good care of us. He runs a great park, and Porzy, we love you.
Yes.
You did one more thing with Big Red, like in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, so I built a wooden platform, like similar to some of the companies out there that make platforms for the overlanding setup. But I was like, you know what? I can do this myself. Mm-hmm. So I got out the old circular saw and put on my safety googles.
Yep. First things first.
Safety first. No, because it just sawdust was everywhere. But test fitting and making sure and figuring it all out and setting it in there, but made a really nice platform for the back of the Jeep. Head over to Instagram, Break It Billy, and you'll see all the pictures, and it's on Facebook as well.
Yeah, it looks killer, and it's very solid. I checked it out before we came on.
Yeah,
on air. So,
I mean, I made sure I mounted a fridge to it, so I increased some of the fasteners and made sure it was going to hold up to some abuse over the next few years.
Nice, well done, by the way.
Thank
you.
And
I might come over and use some tracing paper and
absolutely. No, I can. We'll just turn it upside down and trace it.
There we go. I love it.
Figure it out.
what's coming up on the episode, we're going to talk about cooling systems, in particular, a problem that I was having, and maybe ways for you to troubleshoot your cooling issues if you have any. All right, we got some news. There's some news.
There is some news. I heard there are some recalls.
Yeah, and that's kind of typical with the automotive industry, is to have
Always.
some kind of recall going on.
Just an airbag or
Yeah.
a steering wheel sensor or, something that can make you crash and die.
Yeah, you don't want that. So 2023, 22, 23 4xEs
Yep.
are being recalled due to power failure.
Power failure. You mean like bloop, 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 bloop.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Much.
oh.
The Jeep will go into full power limp mode, more than limp mode. And it's all because of a weak fastener that holds in that 20 amp or 200 amp fuse.
Oh, wow. A weak
Right.
fastener.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got a bad screwed.
Yeah, it's definitely limp mode with that. But that is out. Go to your dealer if you have one.
They're gonna screw you.
They're gonna fix that fastener, and they're gonna screw you. If they see anything else wrong, like a bad cell or some kind of,
They fix that as
they're
well.
gonna fix that as well.
Yep.
So it's always good to when these kind of things happen, make sure to talk to your dealer. Have them tell you everything that they're doing
Mm-hmm.
before they do it.
Yep.
Just to make sure you're getting all your T's crossed and I's dotted. With that news, we had a question earlier on the chat,
Uh-oh.
and I'm going to bring it up on the screen. It says, why do you think Jeep has been silent on the 2024 Gladiator? Out at Easter Jeep Safari,
Because they're not changing it.
it was out there. There were the same
Well,
kind of 2024
yeah, they're gonna
updates that the
do-
JL was
it's
the
The
entertainment.
grill, the entertainment, the
dash.
other stuff, the dash. So, all right, guys. If you don't know this out there, Jeeps are Legos. And
Yeah.
literally, they're Legos from the factory.
Yep.
So, when you look at a JK, if you look at the center section of a JK and like the frame between a 2-door and a 4-door, it's literally the front section's the same, the rear section's the same. They just put a different cross member in the middle.
Yep.
They put a different drive shaft. Front is all the same.
Yep.
They're Legos, guys. It's just that's why you can make a JLL and this, that, and the other thing is because you can cut and weld and mash.
Yeah, and the Gladiator is no different.
So the Gladiator is the front half of a
Of a
JL,
Yep.
from the passenger or the front, driver's seat forward. Or B pillar forward's all the same
Pretty much, yeah.
ish, and then they just put on a different back half.
So when you read about the updates to the JL, pretty much translate that right into
Yep.
the
Yep.
Gladiator.
Yep.
There is talk, and it's I think it's actually been announced about the new inline 6,
Yes, the Hurricane.
and that'll probably go into Gladiator.
I don't know about that. Give it we might have to give it a little bit longer.
I don't know. That power frames might be good for it. I don't know. I'm
Oh
waiting
no, the
for
power frame's fine. I think EPA emissions, this, that, and the other
right,
thing that it
that's
has
true.
to pass.
Right.
It might be another year or two.
Yeah. I'm waiting for 4xE in the Gladiator.
Okay. We'll see.
I don't know. I think they're waiting about towing with that.
Yeah.
I think there's a towing thing going on.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know, but I hope that answers your question on that. Look at that, real time updates. Cool. Some listener feedback. We love that.
I got a lolly.
He's got a lolly. So I'm going to do some of this. We get both of these are from YouTube, and we love it. I mean, we get a lot of little YouTube stuff, but these two just jumped out at me. Antonio Jones says, "You are the GOAT. God bless you. Got this done with the weighted rubber hammer. Works just the same. Didn't have to worry about scratching the paint." He was talking about our video on the door hinge
Yeah.
liners.
Yep.
And getting those out.
Doing Delrin door hinge replacement liners.
Yeah. So that's really cool. Thanks for that. Chris H. wrote us, writing this up to really appreciate your content on YouTube. Just subbed your channel yesterday. YouTube recommended me one of your vids. How about that?
Huh.
The Philly Auto Show walkthrough video was a great one. Keep making nice content.
That was a fun video.
Yeah, it was. It was
being
good.
able to walk around and show Reaper and show all the other rigs and Jeeps and trucks and cars.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to that. If you have feedback for us, we actually almost did a listener question show tonight because we have enough emails, but we'd love to have more of your emails at info@jeeplifepodcast.com. Give us feedback, ask us questions, all that stuff. Send that out.
Yeah, man.
All right, where are we going?
Well, June 7th to the 11th.
Yeah.
I think
It's coming up.
No, that's supposed to be the 9th to the 11th.
Is it? Oh, it is the 9th.
9th to the 11th is the Bantam Jeep Festival in Butler, Pennsylvania, which is actually kind of like Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of between two towns and some country area. But that is a Jeep festival in, Butler was the birthplace.
Where it began, where it all began.
So
One of the early
factories.
Yes.
So super cool. And I'll see you guys out there at the Quadratech tent.
Go by and see Breakabilly.
Yep, I'll be there. Big Red will be there.
Nice.
Yep. And then July 14th to the 16th is New Jersey Jeep Invasion in Wildwood, New Jersey. Will we see you there?
Yes.
You're going?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going.
Awesome.
Yeah, things have changed.
I'm going too.
Nice.
Are we going to have a booth?
We're not going to be in the same place, though.
Where are you going to be?
That is to be TBD.
Okay.
But I will be there.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be walking around making videos and seeing the things and doing the do's. I'll have Big Red, so we're going to be showing her off, and she'll be all shined up. So stop by and say hi.
Yeah, please do.
July 22nd to the 23rd is PA Jeeps All Breeds Jeep Show in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
It's going to be a hot one. Always
is.
Ugh.
Yeah,
but it's always a good one.
I'm debating on camping.
Camping.
Yeah. I've done that a couple times. And it's fun when it's not too hot.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
See how that goes. August 24th to the 26th is Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion.
Woo.
Woo, 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 woo. And we will be there.
Yes.
So we'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
Cool. And then the 27th is the Warren Ride at Windrock Park.
Yeah.
Which is always the day after Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. And then August 24th to the 27th is Ocean City Jeep Week in Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah,
so
I hate that those
two
down
there.
Collide because I'd like to go to both of them.
Well, maybe next year we'll go to Ocean City Jeep Week.
Yeah, maybe.
Do the beach thing instead of the mountain thing.
Switch it over.
Yep.
Do whatever we can do. All right. So I'm going to set the stage here.
All right.
I got a check engine light on my Jeep, and it was that the thermostat was stuck in the open position.
So what that means is usually you're having a heating up issue.
Okay.
So your Jeep can't reach temperature in the proper amount of time. So that's how that code is triggered.
Right.
Because if the thermostat is closed, that means that the coolant stays in your engine and starts to warm up. And then as it warms up, the thermostat opens and it can push the coolant into the radiator to start the cooling process. So it drops the temperature again and then brings it all up again. Ish.
Yep.
Not much temperature difference. But yes, that's kind of how that code is triggered.
So I got it fixed.
Okay. You fixed the thermostat, put a new one in.
Put a new thermostat in.
Okay.
I personally didn't, but one of our friends did.
Yep.
And almost immediately, day or two later, it was overheating. Put a new thermostat. Took it back. They put a new thermostat in it. They warranted the work. And rinse and repeat. We did this like 4 times.
Okay.
And including a trip to the dealership.
Which, yeah.
And they literally jumped right past everything.
They went to
Blown head gasket.
Yeah. They went to atomic bomb.
Yeah.
They're like, oh.
So I'd already been without my Jeep a lot.
Yeah.
And I was
things were rough.
I was frustrated.
Yep.
And I call up Bill and Bill.
Well, yeah, you know.
We've got it.
They call me Break It Billy, but also in turn of breaking things, you learn to fix things.
Yes.
So I have an alter ego called Fix It Billy.
Yeah.
And he comes out often.
He does. And often and
you usually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and ego of flying.
Well, I have this thing called process of elimination.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so to that
which
point,
is like dumbfounding to dealerships.
To that point, I worked as a service technician in another industry.
Yep.
And I know how to troubleshoot shit.
Yeah. I'm just really good at troubleshooting engines and motors and cars, trucks, vehicles, anything.
All the stuff they did, I knew wasn't the solution.
Yep.
And what they were talking about was literally jumping to the biggest conclusion.
Dumbest conclusion.
And that still wouldn't have solved the problem.
Wait, hold on. They had evidence that told them that it wasn't that.
Right.
They performed a chemical test,
Yes.
which is basically they put a chemical on top of your thermostat, and it has a bleeder valve in it, so it releases pressure and air into this chemical. And as that happens, if the air has certain chemicals in it or byproducts of boiling, steam, it changes colors.
Right.
And it tells you that you have a blown head gasket. That wasn't happening, and they're like, oh, you have blown head gasket.
Yeah. So there's 2 things to the blown head
and there's
gasket.
no oil in your
There's
coolant.
no oil in the coolant. Right.
And no coolant in the oil.
Right. Everything was clean.
Clean.
So we shouldn't jump to that conclusion.
And you have compression, and it wasn't running bad.
No.
So it has perfect compression,
yes.
performed fine in every mode.
So I went and picked it up from them and I said, you're not going to do any more work. But while I'm there, I picked up a couple parts. And
Right. Well, because I told you it's these couple of things.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you got to there. Because we did the
All
chem
right.
test shows one thing.
So I don't need to run a chem test. I don't need to do any of that.
Yeah.
Basically, let's talk about first the components of a cooling system. We're going to start off very simple. You have a thermostat, which is a thermo-controlled valve.
Right. And the spring is made of a certain metal. Right.
It's there's actually like a gel in there.
Oh, okay.
And a material that expands and contracts at certain temperatures.
All right.
It's kind of like a regular like a thermometer.
Yeah.
You know, the mercury, or now not mercury, but some other material.
Right.
I don't know what it is. It expands and contracts. So they have that basically in a valve that is with a spring that opens and closes. That controls, the flow of coolant through your system.
Yep.
You have a water pump.
Yep.
Right? That pushes your coolant throughout the system.
Yep. Uses the pulley.
It uses they're always serpentine belt driven.
Yep.
It has a pulley on the front of your motor with a set of bearings and an impeller or some type of pump.
Almost like a turbine.
Yes, a turbine.
Yes.
And then, there's the coolant, which is the fluid that moves throughout your engine and transfers heat from the engine into your radiator, which your radiator is a set of fins and tubes that transfer the heat from the air to the water and water to air.
Yep.
And then there's all the tubing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. All the hoses.
All
and
the hoses,
Yep.
this, that, and the other. There is your radiator cap.
That can actually be a problem.
It can be a problem. Radiator caps are designed to hold a certain amount of pressure,
Yep.
and they also have a backflow valve on them. So the backflow valve is a little piece of metal that allows the coolant to be sucked from your reservoir into the system. So when you have air pockets, it pushes it out because your pressure is going to increase at that point.
Yep.
Your air, as it heats up, it gains pressure, so it pushes past the seal. But if that doesn't work right, you can actually overpressure the system. So if you have too much pressure, it increases your temperature because temperature is a byproduct of, volume and the heat and everything with air. So, and then if that doesn't release, you can build high temps, or if it releases too soon, you can, not get air bubbles into your system.
Yep.
So, going through and looking at your Jeep, I was like, okay, turn it on. Let's see. Heat it up. Squeeze your top hose. Usually, as your Jeep is heating up and it gets the temperature, you can, with your bare hand, you can kind of feel the hose. Don't hold on to it, obviously. It's going to be warm. It's warm to the touch. But you can feel if there's flow going through that. There's turbulence in that water or coolant moving through antifreeze, moving through those tubes. If you squeeze it and you don't feel any turbulence, there's no flow, right?
Right.
So when I squeezed yours,
nada.
I didn't feel anything.
Nada.
It was hot. There was fluid in it. I could feel that there was.
It was full.
And actually, it was starting to build pressure
Yep.
as it's getting hotter and hotter. So, okay, no flow. Well, couple of things. Water pump. Water pump's spinning, so maybe the impeller broke off. The impeller is basically just a set of fins that move water or the antifreeze from one cavity to the other.
Yep.
But there's another thing that's very important in our situation here, and there's a set of gaskets that actually block off certain cavities in our motor.
Yep.
Well, there's seals on this gasket that make sure that pressure or the flow doesn't, pass through sections of this cavity.
Right.
And that was one of your issues.
Yeah.
So your water pump gasket can be an issue if it goes bad, the rubber separates from the metal, and that was one of the issues that we had.
Yeah.
So, and then also on top of it, I looked at your water pump, and that was starting to fail. I saw there was a crack building on the impeller,
Yep.
so that was an issue. We replaced the water pump. And then on top of it all, I think we had a bad thermostat again.
Yes.
So your thermostat wasn't opening fast enough. Yes, it was opening a little bit, but not enough.
Right.
And then also on top of it, it just wasn't, it would take a higher temp to open all the way.
Right.
So we replaced the thermostat, we replaced your water pump, we replaced the water pump gasket.
Yep.
Completely drained the system, burped the system. Air pockets in your coolant system is very problematic. It's not good. And then also on top of all this, you had two of your idler pulleys.
Yeah.
Idle pulleys.
Yeah.
Going bad.
Yeah.
There's bearings, and over time they just start to wear out.
So it was interesting because when we took the water pump out and we tried to spin the impeller,
it just didn't
spin.
sound
it
good.
Didn't. I feel like there were bearing issues.
The bearings were
with
probably
that.
starting to go bad.
And I think the pressure that caused, or vice versa,
It can put drag on a motor.
and it certainly
you get less
did.
gas mileage.
Yeah.
You can get like a mile less because it is putting a lot of drag on the motor. So if you have two idler pulley bearings that are bad, your water pump bearings starting to go bad. That's a lot of drag on a motor.
Yeah.
And yes, not in the grand scheme of things, but like it is.
It probably, and I know for a fact that my gas mileage has improved
A little bit.
right. Even
Even a half a mile.
even a half a mile, right, is a big deal.
We drive Jeeps, damn it.
Let's try to get all those miles out. But it was interesting when we pulled
Bought
it
a whole
off
new
and
gear set to get better cash.
and took a look at it. The gasket itself, it was clear that where the impeller was,
There was like pitting
yeah,
at the bottom of the impeller,
yeah,
or where it's supposed to be.
and that's supposed to be a smooth surface so that water flows
Through it.
smoothly,
Yep.
nicely, and then the gasket obviously wasn't allowing the right pressure or allowing seepage into another area.
Yep.
And now, even though it didn't seep out of the sealed cooling environment,
No.
it's seeping to another part of the
Correct.
environment, which
So
was
it
changing the flow.
So what happens is basically as this coolant there wasn't the suction
Yeah.
from the impeller that was be able to, it sucks from one cavity and pushes to the other one.
Yes.
And then what was happening is that since there was the bottom of the seal was actually allowing that bypass,
Yep.
and it wasn't being able to create that suction. It's like a pool vacuum.
Yeah.
Almost. It's kind of.
So
Not
we
really.
got it all back together.
Yep.
Burped the system.
I burped it twice, boiled it over once, and
Now,
you
a
know, it
3.6 is notorious.
Oh, that thing runs. You got to run it for 4 hours to burp it.
Yeah, and it's notorious for running hot. Jeep actually designed the system to run a little bit
Well,
warmer.
no, 3.6s are designed to run in the 220 range.
Yeah.
It's common.
But I was idling at 321.
Yeah.
And
Now you're idling at 210.
it's awesome. Highway speeds at 215. I'm
Yeah.
golden. Even like you said, the last 10 days have been
Yeah.
fairly warm.
And so, here's some other things. As I'm going through a coolant system, I feel as though that the impeller design that they use isn't the best. I mean, I feel as though the coolant system isn't the best. I feel as the flow and the thermostat, they use a really poor design in that. I think, there is upgrades to make to that coolant system, and obviously your radiator is a huge upgrade you can make.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a better radiator, head over to Cold Case.
Yeah,
They'll
I'm
hook you
already
up.
running a cold case.
Right,
So
and that was half the battle. I was like, it's not the radiator because
there was no leaks.
there's
There
no
was
leaks, nothing.
Nothing. And
You didn't have it wasn't all muddy. You don't get muddy.
I did everything. I pulled,
Yeah.
the vent. What are those things called in the front in the grill? The
your grill inserts.
grill inserts. I pulled those out. I carefully sprayed every fin to make sure the flow air was able to go through
Yeah.
all three of those radiator type things on the front. That wasn't the problem.
Your
And-
transmission cooler, your
AC
condenser, and your radiator.
Yeah, I knew all three of those were clear, no mud. I avoid mud like the plague.
Yeah,
anyway,
man. So do I.
I
I don't like that shit. Tears up bearings.
it's not
Hey,
good.
speaking of bearings, also your idler pulley, your water pump pulley bearings, if they all go bad, it can tear up a belt too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like serpentine belt gone, then you lose your your alternator, you lose your coolant, you lose
Right.
your power steering.
oh yeah.
It's problematic.
Which that's another subject that we should probably do on a topic is power steering.
You need a cooler, man.
I know. I need to be cooler.
You just need to be cooler. Well, I think we're gonna work on that.
All right.
Because I need a power steering cooler as well.
I like the systematic approach that you had to this, and you and I talked through everything before you took
So,
the first bolt.
Hold
off.
on. Let's backtrack.
Yeah.
What is my background?
No, you're an engineer.
I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
So when you're an engineer, what do they teach you?
I don't know. I'm not an engineer.
I'm looking for something very specific. And friends out there, look this up. Scientific method.
Yeah.
Scientific method. I approach every problem with a Jeep with the scientific method.
There you go.
Process of elimination.
Yeah.
Create, observe,
Yeah.
theorize.
So we do the same thing in the technical world. We do like split half searches.
Yeah.
Let's eliminate these. And why are we eliminating those? So we want to be able to talk through why we do that. And then what's left, those are the failures, right?
And also, I like overthinking everything.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer.
But no, it was great to be able to talk through, and we pretty much, you had it solved before we took the first bolt off, but they couldn't
I
see
knew
the
what
gasket.
it was.
You couldn't see the
No.
gasket.
I knew that your flow was the issue. So it was a water pump. The impeller broke off. Something. As soon as I pulled the thermostat, I was like, okay. I tested the thermostat first of all.
Oh yeah,
so I
right,
took
right.
heat gun.
Yeah.
Here's some, trick: lighter, heat gun, some type of heat source. A thermostat should be able to, like with a solid heat gun, open in 30 seconds.
Yep.
Right on it. Zzz,
Yeah.
it should open. Your thermostat took a solid 90 seconds to open, and it didn't even open all the way.
Oh. Right. It didn't open with enthusiasm.
Oh, it was very
Right. So
subpar.
there are things to do. Now, unfortunately, with the coolant system, when
you have to pull the coolant.
That's it. You have to drain the coolant.
Sucks.
It's a pain in the ass.
Get
it's
a
messy.
tub.
It's
Go to Walmart, Home Depot,
Yep.
Costco. Pay the $10. Buy the the tub that you can put under your axle.
Yep.
If you have to lift the axle, lift it, but just put a tub underneath of it and catch everything.
because it's going everywhere.
It goes everywhere.
Right.
It sounds like a waterfall.
Yeah.
No matter what, because every design of here's a better design for you. We need a valve that points down.
Yes.
Because
Not
every
back.
valve points backwards or
Yeah.
forwards or sideways into a cross member. We need a valve that points down.
Yes. Or at
Or
least a hose off of it that goes
yes,
down.
a
Yeah.
hose. Let's get the coolant. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, on top of that, as soon as you pull the water pump, it's
It's out
it's
anyway.
just
Yeah.
waterfall all over the place.
And there's no graceful way to do that.
Nope,
It's going to come out.
it comes out.
I mean,
It's like after Taco Bell, it just comes
it
out.
just comes out. This was an expensive, and I do mean expensive, process for
So
me.
we had to replace a lot of parts here. So we replaced.
Had I just gone with you from the beginning,
It would have been not.
way less
It
expensive.
would have been way less expensive because I just would have
I
done
spent
it
a
right.
lot of money.
Yes.
I spent money for the initial repair.
Yes.
I spent a shit ton of money at the dealer.
Yes. Which you got some money back.
I did get some money back, but not enough to make me
yeah.
feel super comfortable
I
about
know.
it.
So we replaced 2 idler pulleys, a water pump gasket, a thermostat, and replaced 2. What are they, like 4 quarts?
Yeah.
So 8 quarts of.
Parts alone that we did, you and I did,
They're not bad.
I was under $300
Yeah.
with all that. And I
Yep.
actually bought the water pump from Mopar.
Yeah.
But had we just started there,
Sorry, man.
no, it's not your fault. Whatever. But do yourself
Should
a
I
favor.
open a garage? Hey guys,
do
let me
yourse-
know. Should I open a garage?
Do yourself a favor out there. Think through things. Is there a leak? Is it leaking somewhere?
Process of elimination. Leak. Do you have air in your system? Is there a bubble? When you open up your cap, is there a whole bunch? Is it not filled? Is there flow?
Is there oil in your coolant?
Well, that's a bad problem.
Does your coolant have oil in it?
Yeah. Or is your yeah.
But observe everything.
Yep.
Because everything kind of points you in the right direction, even if it eliminates some things.
Uh-huh. But also, coolant systems are important. Go to a trusted professional. And yeah, they say dealerships are trusted, but they're not always right.
Yeah, they
Get a second opinion. Let's put it that way.
There we go. That's
Get a
the way to
second
put
opinion.
it. That
And I'm
is-
not saying I'm the most, opinionated, but ha ha ha.
Best way to bleed the air out of system out without the special tool.
Go buy the special tool.
Get the $30 or $40 funnel thing.
Yeah, they sell them at AutoZone. Go buy the special tool. It's worth it.
Every penny.
It's that, or you got to rig a water bottle with some duct tape because you
right.
the whole thing is you're raising the top level of the system.
Yes.
for the coolant. So you need the tool to raise that level up
Yep.
above the entire motor.
Yep.
I mean, I actually let your system sit overnight with just way filled. I came back out and it was empty.
Yeah.
Like the funnel was empty. I filled it back up. I went to work that day, came back, it was empty again. So it bleeds itself.
Yeah. Yep.
But like, yeah, you just got to do it.
You just got to do it.
And yes, the tool is necessary.
It's worth. I mean, you can get it on Amazon for
You
40.
Actually,
30,
go
40 bucks.
probably go on Amazon. You might be able
Yeah.
to find it for 20 now.
Yeah, maybe.
And mark the pieces that work for the Jeep because you're never going to find them again. Thanks, Dave Truck.
Yeah, right. Well, I appreciate all your efforts with this, and it man, I got to tell you, every day I don't even check the temperature now because
You don't need to.
It stays right in the middle of the gauge. I'm all good. I'm all happy. Climbing hills and all that stuff done. Ooh, all right. So we have a new listener voicemail number.
Yeah.
But where can people find us?
I want everybody to head over to our link tree, linktr.ee/Jeep Life Podcast. That's linktr.ee/Jeep Life Podcast.
Yes.
And you will get hooked up with all of our links. YouTube, we do have a YouTube page. You can subscribe to our YouTube page now if you want to help out the podcast. It's going to go a long way. And also, if you are in the top 2 levels, you can an invite to the fan ride in, I think we're going to do that in October at AOAA. Going to be a great time hanging out with Jeep Life Podcast. It's going to be a whole weekend event. We're going to do some camping. We're going to do some hanging out. Also, there's Patreon if you would like to support the podcast in another way. There's articles always being posted up there and everything like that. And let's see, what else? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's it.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And you can find us on every platform.
Yeah, and we appreciate all of our subscribers and our Patreons and the people who take care of us. We appreciate it so much. I really don't have anything. Thanks to our amazing title sponsor at Armorlight. Thanks to those guys.
GoArmorlight.com.
All of our partners are amazing. Make sure to check them out. Use our discount codes.
Helps us, helps them.
Yeah, and share it on social medias. Let them know how much you love them.
Heck yeah.
And for Breakabilly and Jeep and Terry, here's a big Jeep. Man, words are hard. Words are hard. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight on the lives. Thanks, Dave, for the encouragement on that. We appreciate Michael. Yeah, dude. Dave, thanks for listening to me bitch and moan about my my cooling issues and everything. I was frustrated. I was at the end of my wits for that one for sure.
You just got to take it to the right cooling guy.
Yeah, I guess.
The cool guy.
The cool guy.
Take it to the cool guy.
All right,
Such
everybody.
a nerd.
Way such a nerd. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to go to bed. See you. Bye.
Good night.